Hello, I'm Matthew, and we're here. In this video, I'll be reviewing Hawkeye Season 1, Episode 3, which is currently on Disney+. I'll also be doing an analysis of this episode and pointing out key points that I saw in this episode. I'll let you know if it's possible for a person with disability to learn martial arts or not. If you saw my last video that I released, I have let you know that I have 4-degree black belt in Taekwondo, and that I took this martial art for 9 years. If you want to know what I have to say, you want to watch this video. As we all saw in the beginning of this episode, we all saw Maya, the one who runs the ground suit operations of the tracksuit mafia, was learning martial arts in 2007 while being deaf. I'm sure there are those of you out there who are saying, how could she do this? I can tell you that she can do this, and here is why. My headmaster told me years ago he taught a black man to spar, and he did very well learning it. Ironically, I was taking Taekwondo at the time that she would have been at the time the flashback took place. She did very well in her class and moved out of the way and pushed her opponent down with 2 yanks. Yes, that move is authentic. I will go to a character that assists in Marvel that has a disability is Daredevil. Yes, I know that he's blind and lawyer. But if you have seen the Marvel Netflix series, it goes in detail of the man who taught him, and his name is Stick. Stick is blind, and he taught him how to fight, and he learned especially well. His first costume that he would have worn was black and looked like a ninja suit, to say the least. Black is a very discreet color and does not stick out, especially if you're operating at night like Daredevil did. Maya, who is Echo, wears a black tracksuit, and it makes sense since she is operating at night, as she does not want to stick out. As we all know, in the flashbacks, Ronan kills her father, and she wants to make Ronan pay for killing him. This episode shows us why the tracksuit mafia has made Ronan an enemy, because Ronan killed her father. As we all know, Clint, who wore the Ronan suit, fought and he lost everyone once his family was taken from him. He started killing everyone like we saw from Avengers Endgame in the scene back in Tokyo. We get back to the current time, and the tracksuit mafia is taunting both Clint and Kate. Clint told Kate, I was trying to get you clear of the Ronin suit until you had to show up. They both get interrogated by Maya, and Clint tells her Ronin is dead and she was killed by Black Widow. Maya tells him that is convenient to say the least, since the person that killed him is dead. Why do I think it is important to mention Black Widow is the situation here is very similar to the first Avengers movie. Remember in that movie, Black Widow looked like she was caught, but she was digging information out of the people while appearing to be caught. Clint is doing the same thing and breaks himself out. She and Clint were both shield agents before they were part of the Avengers. Clint shows us again how good of a fighter he is, and he breaks him and Kate out of there. They take a car, and Clint wants Kate to drive. Kate says, I do not know how to drive. As we know, Clint had his hearing aid crushed by Maya, and he cannot hear Kate that well or at all. He told her, I am not breaking a window to a classic car like a 1972 Challenger. They get out of there, and we see the trick goers that Hawkeye has. Clint says, not that one. Kate, like in the trailer, don't have to say definitely like that. As we know, like in the trailer, she fires the explosive arrow, and the car blows up. Kate says, holy shit, there are 4 more arrows dangerous than that one? There's a comedic scene where we see the pointed arrow go on the cars chasing them. We also see an arrow which has Pym on it, which means Hawkeye got Hate Pym to give him an arrow with Pym particles in it, as it grew an explosive arrow that blows stuff up, to say the least. Kate was wondering what the plunger arrow was for, but it allowed them to escape, and they got in the subway car. Clint tells her, you're right, you are one of the world's greatest archers. Kate tells him, we need to get the dog out of the apartment, as it is not good for him to get cooped up an apartment like that. And Clint says the same thing while hearing Kate. Another piece of comedy in this episode. They get the dog to the restaurant, and they both agree to check out the tracksuit mafia in the Bishop security database. Excuse me. Before they agreed to check out the tracksuit mafia, Kate was telling Clint, I know how to fix your branding issue, like I mentioned in my last review. Kate tells him, we can have you wear a flashy costume. The costume was the traditional one that Clint wore before Marvel changed it. I know there are those that are upset he did not wear the traditional suit. Remember, like Black Widow, they both worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. before they were Avengers, and S.H.I.E.L.D. being a covert agency didn't want Clint or Black Widow to stick out. Since S.H.I.E.L.D. is like the CIA, they wouldn't want their agents to stick out but hide in plain sight. He tells Kate that it was not his job to stick out. His wife would divorce him if he wore a costume like that, and that he is not a role model. Kate tells him, you are wrong, you are. Kate wants to figure out the connection to Jap being a possible suspect to Amon's murder. No, they do not go to the company. They go to her family's penthouse, which has been in their family for a long time. Kate figured it would be more discreet, to say the least, to check the company computers there. The episode ends on a cliffhanger again. I give this episode a 10 out of 10, as I thought it was very well done and true to the comics. I've been impressed of how good this series has been so far. I like the fact that we saw Maya training we went back to 2007. Again, like I said in my Dopesick episode 7 review, flashbacks are a good way to tell a story. I like the fact it does not tell the story simply, and we are left guessing. This is good storytelling if you want to know. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell to be notified of any videos that come on the channel. Please let me know what books, movies, and TV shows you'd like me to review next in the comment section below. Please share this video with your friends, family, so my channel can grow. Thank you and have a wonderful day.